Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining and welcome to our webinar on securing your workplace. My name's Isaac. I'm a service account manager at ADM, and I'm also ADM's resident speaker on webinars and events. In this presentation, I'm going to be running through some of our top tips and general practices for security within your organization, and also diving into some of the security tools we use ourselves that can help. Now, if there are any questions during the session, please feel free to pop them in the chat, as these will all be answered in an email response following today's event. To start off, I'd like to give you a little bit of information on who we are and what we do. So, we are ADM Computing. We are an IT services and support company based in Kent. We cover London, the South East and further. We were established in 1984, which makes us more than 36 years old now. You can actually see the photo of when ADM first opened on the top left and where we are now at the bottom. We have around 75 staff, 3/4 of whom are technical and service delivery teams. And we're also a Microsoft Gold partner. And our competencies involve not only exams, but actually deploying the technologies. We're a highly rated partner with many other industry-leading vendors, and we are also ISO 9001, 14001, 27001, and Cyber Essentials Plus accredited. As I said before, we're a Microsoft Gold partner and have achieved all of the gold competencies on the right to the highest standard certified by Microsoft. Usually we would hold an event like this one at the Microsoft head offices in London. Of course, we've had to change that recently to all virtual events to keep everyone safe. Even though, unfortunately, we're not able to meet all of you face to face at the moment, we can still convey a great deal of information using this webinar format and by taking your questions. Now, as I said before, if you do have any questions, please do pop them in the Q&A box and I will send an email follow-up to all of you with the answers. So now you know a bit more about us, I'd like to run through the plan for this morning. In this session, I will give you an overview on how to secure your workplace using top tips in combination with some of the excellent tools and services available to businesses. I'll be running through some general security measures you can put in place to further protect your organization, including good security practice, password management, and security awareness training. And following that, we'll take a look at Microsoft's Secure Score and how it actually works. I'll then be discussing the benefits of using multi-factor authentication and why using it means your accounts are up to 99.9% less likely to be compromised. And finally, we'll be looking at enterprise mobility and security and how it can help detect and investigate advanced threats, compromised identities, and malicious actions on all across your on-premise and cloud environments. So I want to give you all my top 5 tips to starting out with security. First of all, when browsing online, make sure that the websites you visit have a padlock on the end of the URL. This is a good starting place for beginners to understand security, and it enables you to browse websites securely. Secondly, don't download anything personally confidential on an organization's asset. Third, don't connect personal devices directly to your organization's network. Fourth, email security is crucial. One wrong click can take down an organization. I'll touch more on that in a moment. And fifth and finally, password strength matters. I'll give you a brief overview of this now. So passwords are an important part of any end user's devices. A colleague of mine says that a password should always be easy to remember but hard to guess, and that's quite important. You want a complex password that's preferably isn't repeated across a number of logins. A different password for everything would be ideal, but how would you remember what password is matched to a particular website or device? Well, there are a couple of ways to tackle this. Personally, I use a password manager, something like LastPass, And with these, I can access all of my passwords for various applications, devices, and websites with the click of a button, and everything is locked away in the password manager by a master password, which of course is easy to remember, but very hard to guess. And I'll talk more to you about LastPass in just a moment. A top tip when creating passwords would be to include a mixture of uppercase and lowercase letters, symbols, and numbers. For example, according to the National Cybersecurity Centre, amongst the most common passwords in 2019 were QWERTY, password1, and dragon. I'm sure all of you know better than this, but needless to say, if your password is on this list, I would recommend changing it. Some ideas of more complex passwords that are easy to remember might be a quote from a book or lyric from a song, but you want to make sure these are hard to guess. So how do you do that? Let's take an example from The Lord of the Rings. Not all who wander are lost. That could be changed into this. Here we have a mixture of lowercase and capital letters, an exclamation mark for our symbol, and the year the book was written. There are obviously many more options to strengthen your passwords. The choice to do it is up to you. Did you know that 80% of data breaches are caused by weak, reused, or stolen passwords? Excellent business password hygiene and practices are necessary to avoid data breaches. However, traditional password management practices can be overwhelming both for employees and administrators. This is where LastPass Enterprise comes in. It empowers your workforce by reducing friction for users and IT teams, and it allows you to save time by simplifying employee password management while granting admins actionable oversight from advanced reporting to over 100 customizable security policies. LastPass achieve this in 3 ways. They eliminate employees' password reuse by ensuring employees practice great password hygiene. It manages passwords all from one place by giving every user their own personalized vault while maintaining oversight with a robust admin dashboard. It also protects your sensitive data by keeping everyone's credentials, notes, and information safe using LastPass's zero-knowledge security model. And finally, you can share passwords simply and safely because all employees and clients require access, and you can organize shared credentials by groups. So that's LastPass Enterprise, a new partner of ours we've been working with to get you the best password management tool. I now want to talk a little bit about SAT. SAT, or Security Awareness Testing and Training, is a fantastic service that we at ADM use to provide our clients for the purposes of training staff on email phishing. So instead of trying to explain it to you in words, let's take an example. One of the employees in your organization receives this email. What do they do? What about this one? Or even this one? Do they see it in their inbox and instantly know that it's a phishing email? Or do they click into it, see the link, assume it's safe, and open up the organization to a potential cyber threat? Unsurprisingly, the latter is usually the case for untrained staff members. Now, SAT allows you to create and deploy fake phishing emails to end users' inboxes through the IT team. Here you can create anything from what you see here on screen to an email that looks like it's direct from the HR director with branding images and a link to extend your holiday allowance, for example. This is all achieved through a simple drag and drop process. It really is that simple. SAT also offers extensive, inclusive, simple, and clear training to end users in your organization to help them fight these extremely common phishing attacks. If you do want to know more about SAT, please do give me a ring. I'm heading up the product at the moment. My contact details will be at the end of this presentation. I now want to talk to you about the Microsoft offering designed specifically to improve your security in the workplace. In this segment, I want to show you how SecureScore can massively benefit your organization's security posture and important changes that you can make to boost your score. SecureScore is a measurement of an organization's security posture. The higher the secure score, the more improvements you have made. So there are 3 layers of SecureScore which help to report on the current state of the organization's security posture, improve their security posture by providing discoverability, visibility, guidance, and control, and compare with benchmarks and establish key performance indicators or KPIs. But how does it all work? Well, you're given points for setting up recommended security features or performing security-related tasks. You can also receive points by addressing the improvement action with a third-party application or software, or an alternate mitigation. Some improvement actions only give points when fully completed, and some give partial points if they are completed for some devices or some users. If you can't or do not want to complete one of the improvement actions, you can choose to accept the risk or the remaining risk. SecureScore will show you the full set of possible improvements regardless of the license, so you can understand security best practices and improve your score. Your absolute security posture is represented by SecureScore, which stays the same no matter what product licenses your organization owns. Your score is updated in real time to reflect the information presented in the visualizations and improvement action pages. And it also syncs daily to receive system data about your achieved points for each action. Now you know a little about how SecureScore actually works, let's take a look at the 4 pillars of improvement statuses. In short, there are 4 levels to improvement within SecureScore. The first one, to address. You recognize that the improvement action is necessary and plan to address it some point in the future. This also applies to actions which are detected as partially but not fully completed. Then we have planned. This just means there are concrete plans in place to complete the improvement action. Following this, risk accepted. Now, security should always be balanced with usability, and not every recommendation will work for your environment. So when that is the case, you can choose to accept the risk or remaining risk and not enact the improvement action. You will not be given any points, but the action will no longer be visible in the list of improvement actions. So you can view that action in your history or undo it any time as well. And finally, resolved through third party and also resolved through alternate mitigation. This one means the improvement action has already been addressed by a third-party application or software or an internal tool. You'll gain the points that the action is worth, so your score better reflects your overall security posture. I now want to briefly touch on how these improvement statuses are actually calculated. Each improvement action is worth 10 points or less. If you implement the improvement action, like create a new policy or turn on a specific setting, you'll get 100% of the points. For other improvement actions, points are given as a percentage of the total configuration. Now, what products are included in this improvement actions and scoring system? Well, currently, there are recommendations for Microsoft 365, including Exchange Online, Azure AD, Microsoft Defender, ATP, Azure ATP, and Cloud App Security. Recommendations for other security products are also coming soon. One thing I haven't touched on too much in this segment is what SecureScore actually looks like. This is for the simple reason that I want all of you to get the relevant information across so that you understand what you're looking at in the next slide. So in the Microsoft Secure Score overview page, you can see how points are split between these groups and what points are available. The overview page is also the place to get an all-up view of the total score, historical trend of your secure score with benchmark comparisons, and prioritized improvement actions that can be taken to improve your score. So, how do you implement all of this in your organization? If you already have Microsoft 365 in your organization, some of these tools I've discussed today may be already available to you. If you don't or want us to take a look at your security posture, please do get in touch with your account manager or our sales team. Let us now take a look at another security tool from Microsoft, MFA. MFA stands for multi-factor authentication, and it ensures your accounts are up to 99.9% less likely to be compromised. With this, you can provide users secure, seamless access to all of their applications from any location or device. The Microsoft version of MFA has a brilliant counterpart called Microsoft Authenticator. And with that, the Microsoft Authenticator app helps you to sign into your accounts if you're using that two-factor verification. You can use the Microsoft Authenticator app in multiple ways, including the ability to respond to a prompt for authentication after you sign in with your username and password. That's how we do it. You can sign in without entering a password using your username and the Authenticator app and your mobile device with your fingerprint, face, or PIN. And also you can use it as a code generator for any other accounts that support Authenticator apps. That's MFA in short. Finally, let's take a brief look at EM&S. So in Microsoft Enterprise Mobility and Security, or EM&S, it's an intelligent mobility management and security platform. It helps protect and secure your organization and empowers your employees to work in new and flexible ways. With it, you can ensure secure connections between people, devices, apps, and data, increase your security and productivity with a single identity solution that gives you flexibility and control. You'll be able to protect your sensitive data everywhere, even when traveling and when shared, and see and control how files are used with a comprehensive and integrated information protection solution. EM&S also enables you to detect and investigate advanced threats, compromised identities, and malicious actions across your on-premise and cloud environments. So you'll be protecting your organization with adaptive, built-in intelligence. In short, EM&S and its products increase the security features of Windows 10 and Microsoft 365 and extend them to your entire environment, including investments that aren't supplied by Microsoft. I am wary of not diving too much into the technicalities of EM&S, as we do have a variety of viewers on this morning. So if you're an IT administrator or work within IT, please do get in touch with us where we can take you through EM&S in some more detail. Now, we're running very short, but that about wraps up today's presentation on securing your workplace with Microsoft 365. I do briefly want to run through a couple of exciting upcoming events we have going on before ending today. So some of you may have attended the training sessions with Alex Waterton before, but we now have some very exciting news. We started providing the free training sessions at the beginning of lockdown in 2020, and since then, over 1,200 people have attended. We've now decided to continue sponsoring Alex's sessions so we can continue to provide free, fully interactive training sessions for up to 2 members of staff in your organization. He'll be discussing the top tips and tricks along with taking you through the fantastic features and updates in Microsoft Teams, Outlook, OneNote, Word, and Excel, and maybe some more coming soon as well. So please do make sure to take up this great opportunity before this round of sponsored training comes to an end in December. If you do want to book for any of these sessions, please do get in touch. I hope you've all enjoyed this morning's webinar and learned something new. I did try to keep it short for you all, If you would like any advice, training, support, or would like to get any of the products mentioned for your organization, please don't hesitate to get in touch with one of our brilliant account managers who will take you through the necessary information. You can reach them on the number or email on screen. One last thing to note is that there will be a recording of this event posted in the very near future on our ADM Computing YouTube channel, which will also be sent to you in a follow-up email following this event. I'll leave all of this contact information up on screen for a couple of minutes, just so you're able to take it all down. And I'd just like to thank everyone once again, to everyone who tuned in today. And I'm sure I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you.